Hello there today. And today we're going to talk about, the new, Manchester United news issue where we're going to discuss which player, might they sign in order to replace Harry Maguire. Manchester United have been told, recently to replace Harry Maguire, and the 60 million signing that they're eyeing is former Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt is one of the 60 million transfer target that basically that Rangnick is eyeing in order to replace Maguire. As you know, alongside him, marquee recruits Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, key figures. They would be key figures in the Old Trafford boardroom. You know, so players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Varane, these kind of players will definitely attract more players towards our team. And as a fellow United fan, I think it's very, very important that we notice and we take into account the fact that that a good squad, and since Ralf Rangnick is here right now, a good coach, great players, a winning streak. If we win 4, 5, 6 matches at the same time, which we will, because we don't have that many, challenges up ahead. So I think it's very likely that we would be able to lure in more great players. I mean, as Rafael Varane is injured, and other Lindelof, Maguire has come under criticism for his performance, with the armband. I think, I don't have any bias, I'm somebody who does not criticize, unconditionally, or has some sort of bias against someone. I don't have any bias against Harry Maguire, but I think the fact that that he is a captain and he's playing like this, it's absolutely rubbish. I think his performance has been nothing but absolutely rubbish in these terms. He has played a rubbish game, a rubbish, and he as a captain he has failed, as a defender he has failed. So I don't know if he will outperform in the Raniak era. He might show great performance, but we need a replacement of Maguire. So speaking to Paddy Power, Cleberson has said Manchester United must make a few signings at a centre back position. So that's something we have always lacked, a quality centre back. We have always lacked somebody who will be a quality centre back. But there are too many moments that he just doesn't perform, particularly when one on one or up against pacey players. He needs help defending. They need someone faster, stronger in the air, and that can anticipate what will happen and that will be able to stop counter attacks. So we need somebody who is faster, pacier, who has a drive, who has a thirst, and will be able to stop counter attacks and and flaws in the attack. I like Matthijs de Ligt. Manchester United tried to bring him in a few years ago, but it didn't work. They need a player like him. They need to get someone in there to do a better job. So that is what they have said, and Matthijs de Ligt, So I know United sometimes have the tendency to pay over the top for players, who would not who do not meet the conventional market. But this time, Ralf Rangnick is targeting players who are good form, who are being ignored, and who would be a great replacement at a considerable budget. Because don't forget, he has a history of being a great player, of somebody who's been a great player, in Leipzig, in Schalke, he has taken him to new heights with a very low budget. So if Ralf Rangnick opts for if he opts for a player, you best be sure that player shall be good one. And as we know, Ralf Rangnick's current United under United formation this season could be 4-2-2, 4-2-2-2. So we can say, he will be opting for a very high pressure style, uh, playing style that requires a lot of pressure. But if we have to, go and stand side by side, beside teams such as City, Liverpool, or or Real Madrid, or even Barcelona, I mean, or or PSG or any big team, we not only need a good attack, but we also need a very good defense. So since Raniak is bringing in, he has got players like Sancho, Fred, Ronaldo, Cavani, Teles, and many other players, and also young players like Anthony Alenga, and and Dalot. So he has a mishmash of experience and also of youth. And I think we have our attack stacked. And Lindelof, McTominay, or Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. I mean, our centre back, or our defensive side, it's not that strong. Harry Maguire is not. Neither he's a good captain nor he's a good defender. Don't get me wrong, but I don't agree with the things people say. He's a good defender. He's a good captain. Give him some time. And this is a very weird factor. Have you guys noticed this? I've seen in several news outlets, breaking news, newsletters, and also in the TV, in news sites such as Manchester, The Sun, The Independent. Harry Maguire always performs on an international level in England. I mean, when he's playing for England, I mean, he performs on a different level. But when it comes down to performing for Manchester United, I mean, what happens to him? I don't know. Something gets to him, and one of the major reasons why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign failed miserably. I mean, he is a legend. Solskjaer is a club legend. He plays fantastic football, and I totally agree with him. He's an absolute club legend. Okay, don't get me wrong here. He's a club legend. I agree with him. But one reason why that failed, why it was failing miserably, was because of Harry Maguire, because of his flabbergasted defensing, his lackluster captaincy. I mean, we could have given Bruno Fernandes the captaincy badge, or we could have given anybody the captaincy badge. So you have a team where there are players like Bruno, Ronaldo, Varane, Cavani. Just give it to Cavani. Let him be the captain. He's a guy who can take a lot of pressure. So we can even do that, But having Harry Maguire as the captain, I mean, that was one of the biggest mistakes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was trusting Maguire too much, because his style of play, that's what it featured. So in this video, as I have said, Ralf Rangnick has found, has eyed a replacement for Harry Maguire, and that's, ligt. He has that player targeted, and let's see whether he can buy this player on this transfer window or not. And I'll be coming with you with more news and more views, with regarding the recent football news and the recent happenings. So till then, take care.